We are at 107 Barnett Drive, located in Bishopville, South Carolina. This home was built in 1963. It is a 4-bed and 2 baths on a little over an acre lot. It is a single-story ranch-style home. It appears that the property actually extends all the way over here. So very large yard. It is off of, this appears to be one of the kind of main roads through this small town, but established community. Neighbors seem to, do a good job taking care of their yards. This guy seems to be proud of his Mustang, parking it right in front of his front door. But very large pine tree right here. This home sits on a corner lot, so you do get, a bigger yard. So continuing on to this corner lot, we do have, some mature trees that all appear to have green on them, which is a good sign. Again, this is a very large corner lot. From what I can see, or maybe guess, it appears that this lot actually comes to about right here. You can kind of see a little line in the grass right there. It's a very large yard. Come around the side of the home. We got some mature bushes. Look like they did away with a tree here that might have been getting too close to the house. House is all brick. Some holly bushes right here. This home does have kind of a 2-car garage port, as you can see right here, with access into the home. There's an exterior door and then a glass storm door. Looks like there may have been a window here at one point, but it has been boarded shut. Some iron supports along the front. And in the front porch area, that's actually like a masonry type tile or exterior tile that looks like wood, but it seems very, strong and durable. Come on to the left side of the home. Of course, we got our water meter and, phone line right here. Got some vine growth going on the side of the home right there. But here is actually the portion of the backyard that they have a chain link fence on. I think with the size of the, yard, you could, probably extend this to have a larger fenced in portion, but you still are getting a decent sized yard with, of course, lots of natural shade. Looks like the property line probably ends where that fence ends. Another view right here. And here's the view of the next door neighbor's backyard. Not sure what type of tree this is, but it appears to produce some type of berry or something. Not sure. But decent sized driveway. We do have a little concrete path to enter into the home. Some brick steps and still metal railing. We have an exterior storm door with, of course, the main door, and then we have a little, mailbox slot right here. And of course, lots of room on the front porch. It's covered. Without further ado, let's make our way inside. Again, this home is just under 2,000 square feet. There have been, noticeable upgrades made to the home to bring it up to date. First thing we're going to have is a coat closet to our left. The ceiling is smooth, does not have popcorn ceilings, and it appears to be, possibly, let me see the height on this ceiling. Eight-foot ceilings, which is nice. A light fixture as we enter into the home. To our left, we have the living room area. The ceiling fan and light fixture, they do have some recessed can lights throughout the home, which provide, great lighting and, generally last a very long time. And we have 3 windows looking out to the front. All of the windows have sturdy wooden storm shutters here, which is nice. I think they open up. And these windows look to be updated as well, which is really great. Sometimes with older homes, one of the first things you got to do is just replace those windows. So it's a good sign. We're going to make our way down this hall. This is where we're going to have the bedrooms. So in the hallway, they've utilized some extra space and put in lots of closets for some additional storage right here. Lots of storage there. To our right, we are going to have what could be used as a bedroom, but doesn't have a closet, so technically doesn't count as a bedroom, and it's could be used as a home office. Still have the updated windows, double pane with a screen, and then we have the wooden storm shutters in here as well. These don't seem to want to move right now. I think that maybe when they came in to spruce this place up, they painted these and the paint dried and put them stuck in place. So you can see wasn't the greatest paint job done for these shutters, but to our right, we're gonna have the hall bath and bathroom for the guest bedrooms. We do have granite countertops with tile floors and actually tile along the side and in the walk-in shower. So nice update they have done. There's the toilet. Very large mirror, the light fixture here as well, and then this cabinet actually slides, and then we also have very nice large capacity drawers here as well. We'll make our way to the right. We are going to see the master bedroom. So we do have a ceiling fan and light fixture in here. And I believe these are the same storm shutters that match the living room space, and they seem to be, updated versus the ones that were in the first room that we looked at. So they function like they're supposed to. So here we have the closet. Walk-in closet. We have lots of shelving right here, and then a clothing rod on either side. And then I think this is tied into the AC return vent. We have shelving. And now we're gonna step into the primary bathroom. So here we of course still have the tile floors and the tile on the walls. Walk-in shower. The workmanship seems to be pretty good here. We do have a pretty unique linen closet storage space housed above the toilet. And then with this window, we still have the storm shutters here. These match the first room we looked at, where it looks like they, due to possibly the paint, don't seem to go up and down. Here's the vanity in the bathroom. Looks to be a medicine cabinet. Yeah, so. Another look at that primary bedroom. It appears that on some of the walls there's evidence where there was, wood paneling original with the home, but that's, accurate with the, age of this home. Now we're gonna step into the second bedroom. Another good sized bedroom with functional shutters. And here's the closet, a shelf on top and a dowel for hanging clothes. It does look like they had tracks in place for doors. Possibly they were having issues with them staying on the tracks and they did away with them completely. Next door we have our third bedroom. So here, still, good amount of space in this room. And of course, we have the double window with functional shutters. This closet does currently still have the doors, but you can see they having some issues with them staying on the tracks. But looks to be same sized closet as the other bedroom we were just in. Coming down the hall, just for reference, there's the front door, there's the living room, here's that hallway to all the bedrooms. It's a Honeywell thermostat located here. Here we have a nice sized coat closet. Very large door. As we come through this archway, we're going to have the dining room area. Put a table there. We do have some decorative painting done here. But that could, easily be changed whatever color you would like. Maybe just match the walls they currently have. Here we have two windows with, again, functional shutters. And here's a view from the corner of this room. We do have an updated kitchen, as you can see. We have stone countertops. Not sure what type of stone, but we do have lots of countertop space, area for some benches, and then we do have tile flooring in here. Lots of storage space. You have storage within the kitchen island. This all appears to be brand new. We do have a double basin sink here. You can change the modes. We do not currently have a garbage disposal, but that's something that could be added at a later date. We do have soft close for the cabinets. Maybe not that one. Might just be something that needs to be adjusted with that one, but we do have more can lighting in here as well. Let's see if I can. Yes, let's see. So it can be very bright if you want it to. We have a whirlpool range right here. Still has the the protective film on it from being brand new. Looks like we have a cutout space for possibly a vent hood or a slimmer microwave, depending on what you'd want. And then here we have the refrigerator. So we have the fridge portion on top with a pull-out portion for the freezer. Now as we leave the kitchen, get another view of that. We walk into a second living room space, and a lot of older homes, they always had kind of what you would call a great room and then a living room, family room. So you do get, two areas here. This looks to be a gas log fireplace. A brick, mantle here. And then we have some built-in shelving with some storage. And then there's the gas line going to the fireplace. It still have the same flooring as the kitchen, this tile. Doesn't appear to have any visible cracks in it. Of course, the can lighting, as far as a central light that I can't seem to find the light switch for. This home does currently have a security system as well. And then this door actually goes into the carport. Again, we see that signs of a rushed paint job. Something you need to probably plan to redo. But we do have a glass storm door right here with what appears to be a built-in screen, which is great. Be able to open that, let the nice breeze through without letting any bugs in. And then of course this steps off into the 2-car garage port. To our left we have kind of a utility room. So in here we have that tile flooring, and then here's where we have hookups for the washer and dryer with some built-in shelving and cabinetry. We actually have the panel box located in here. Looks to be labeled correctly, or at least legibly. And then here we have the water heater. Now this actually has some steps where we can enter into the backyard. This is the portion of the backyard that is fenced in by chain link fence. We do have a double gate right here, and then a single gate right there. This property does back up to the home right here. So you can see the fence ends right there. And then we have the side of another home. But still a pretty good area of fenced in backyard. And then here we have a single entry gate on this side as well. Concrete pad right here. And actually you have some brick steps. Come from the other side. It needs just to be adjusted or tightened up on the hinges for a little bit of smoother opening and closing. All right. We come through here. We do have a large sliding glass door. There is a little bit of difficulty with opening and closing. I think maybe just the weight of the door attributes to that, and then possibly maybe some cleaning on the rails could assist with this. Here we have a large sunroom, so lots of windows for natural lighting. And again, that tile flooring put in here. These windows don't seem to be operational as far as intended to open, but and here's the door with a storm door to get into the backyard. Right there. I think there may be a spider that had made a nest in that gap, so that would just need to be taken apart, I think, by these screws, and you could get that cleaned out pretty easily. And of course, this would give us access to the backyard. Just another look. Walk in from the sunroom. We would enter into the second living room area. Of course, we have other living space with the kitchen and dining room.